This is supposed to be the biggest sporting event in human history. 48 teams, 104 matches, 16 cities across 3 countries, the most watched tournament ever staged. And on the very first day, this is what the world saw: rows of empty seats at a sold-out World Cup. How does that happen? How do you have a tournament with more demand than any event in the history of the planet and still end up with empty seats on opening day? The answer is a story about greed, chaos, and a governing body that may have completely lost touch with the fans who made this sport what it is. In this video, I'm going to break down every single controversy threatening to overshadow the 2026 World Cup, the ticket prices that fans are calling extortion, the dynamic pricing scheme that backfired on live television, the referees and supporters getting turned away at the border, and the formal legal complaint accusing FIFA of abusing its own monopoly. If you've been counting down to this World Cup for years, if you tried to buy a ticket and walked away in shock at the price, or if you just want to understand why the biggest tournament on earth is drowning in scandal before a single trophy is lifted, stay with me, because once you see how the build-up actually went, you'll never watch this tournament the same way again. Let's start with the one that made everybody angry: the tickets. Here's some context that tells you everything. The last time the United States hosted a World Cup back in 1994, tickets ranged from about $25 to $475. This time, some seats for the final were listed at over $30,000. Let me say that again: $30,000 for one ticket to one football match. Even the official prices were staggering. A list published by the German Football Association showed group stage tickets ranging from $180 to $700. And the final? The cheapest official seat started around $4,000 and climbed past $8,000. The English Football Association did the math for its own traveling fans. If you wanted to follow your team from the group stage all the way through to the final, the ticket cost alone would run you over $7,000. That's before flights, before hotels, before food. Fan groups did not hold back. Football Supporters Europe, one of the biggest supporter organizations in the world, called the prices, quote, a monumental betrayal of the tradition of the World Cup. They called the prices extortionate. They demanded FIFA halt sales entirely. And here's the heartbreaking part: the World Cup has always been the people's tournament, the one event where a working-class fan could save up and see their nation play on the biggest stage. That promise, for a lot of people, just died, priced out of the very tournament being held in their own country. But the prices weren't even the most controversial part. It was how FIFA decided those prices in the first place. Here's where it goes from expensive to genuinely shady. FIFA didn't use fixed prices for this World Cup. For the first time, they used something called dynamic pricing. If you've ever booked a flight or ordered a rideshare during a rainstorm and watched the price triple, you already understand dynamic pricing. The price isn't fixed. It moves up and down based on demand in real time. The more people want it, the more it costs. FIFA applied that same model to World Cup tickets. The hotter the match, the higher the price climbed. Fans watched ticket prices for big games surge like they were trying to book a last-minute holiday flight. And then on day one, it backfired spectacularly. At the Estadio Akron in Mexico, during South Korea versus Czechia, the cameras caught rows and rows of empty seats at a World Cup on opening day. Why? Because the prices were set so high that real fans couldn't afford to fill the building. The dynamic pricing model priced the tournament out of its own stadiums. FIFA's greed literally showed up on camera as empty plastic seats broadcast to the entire world. And here's the kicker: as demand cooled, prices started crashing. Seats that were listed at $30,000 suddenly had to be discounted. FIFA's resale portal ended up flooded with well over 170,000 unsold tickets for the opening phase alone. So you had the worst of both worlds. Real fans got priced out early, And the stadium still ended up with empty seats because the rich buyers FIFA was banking on never fully showed up. It was a gamble, and it failed on live television in front of billions of people. But the fans who did manage to buy tickets, some of them ran into a completely different nightmare. Here's a problem unique to this World Cup. It's being hosted across 3 different countries, which means borders, and borders mean visas, and visas mean people getting turned away. Start with this one, because it's almost unbelievable. A top referee named Omar Artan was denied a visa, despite having valid documentation. He was set to make history as the first Somali to ever referee at a World Cup. Instead, he was refused entry to the host country. Think about how broken the system has to be for an official invited to work the tournament to get stopped at the border. If FIFA can't get its own referees into the country, what chance does an ordinary fan have? The answer is not much. One Scottish fan had his US visa revoked just hours before his flight. He'd saved, he'd planned, he'd booked, and hours before takeoff, it was gone. Then there's the broken promise problem. One father said he paid for dream front row seats for his family, a once-in-a-lifetime memory, and then FIFA later moved them to different seats entirely, sparking outrage over how transparent the ticketing process actually was. Imagine that. You spend a fortune on the exact seats you wanted for the experience of a lifetime, and the organization just relocates you after the fact. That's the kind of treatment that's defined the fan experience of this tournament. So how does FIFA respond when the entire world is criticizing them? That's where it gets almost insulting. When the backlash reached a boiling point, the president of FIFA, Gianni Infantino, finally addressed it. And his explanation tells you everything about how the organization sees its own fans. Speaking at a sports summit in Dubai, he defended the sky-high prices by pointing to demand. He said, quote, "We have 6 to 7 million tickets on sale, and in 15 days we received 150 million ticket requests." Then he called the demand, quote, "absolutely crazy." Now, on one level, the demand is real. FIFA says it received over 150 million ticket requests. He even pointed out that in 2 weeks they had enough requests to fill 300 years of past World Cups. But listen to what that argument actually is. He's using the overwhelming demand from fans to justify charging those exact same fans more than they can afford. The more you want it, the more we'll charge you. That's the message. The passion of the supporters became the excuse to squeeze them. To FIFA's credit, the pressure did force some movement. After the global backlash, they introduced a new $60 ticket tier for every match, including the final. A supporter entry tier aimed at loyal fans connected to their national teams. But critics pointed out the obvious. Those cheap tickets were limited, hard to get, and for many fans, mostly gone before they ever had a real shot. A small batch of affordable seats doesn't undo months of pricing ordinary people out of the tournament entirely. And that's exactly why this went from a complaint to an actual legal case. Here's the part that turns this from outrage into something with real teeth. Football Supporters Europe, together with a consumer rights group called Euro Consumers, filed a formal complaint against FIFA over the ticket prices. And the accusation is serious. They claim FIFA, quote, abused its monopoly position when setting ticket prices for the tournament. In plain terms, they're arguing that because FIFA is the only game in town, the sole controller of the World Cup, it used that total control to charge whatever it wanted, with no competition to keep it honest. That's a genuine legal argument. When one organization has complete control over a product that billions of people want, and there's no alternative, the rules around how it can price that product get a lot stricter. This complaint is testing exactly that question. So let's add it all up. The most expensive World Cup tickets in history, a dynamic pricing scheme that left stadiums half empty on opening day, referees and fans turned away at the border, families having their dream seats relocated, a president calling the demand crazy while charging fans for that very demand, and now a formal legal complaint accusing the organization of abusing its own power. And here's the strange, beautiful contradiction at the heart of all of this. Despite every single one of these scandals, the tournament is still happening. The football is still being played. And the fans who did make it in are still creating the magic that makes the World Cup the greatest show on earth. That's the real story of the 2026 World Cup. The game itself is still glorious, but the organization running it has spent the entire build-up reminding the world that to them, the fans aren't the heart of the sport, they're the revenue. The biggest tournament in history was supposed to be a celebration. Instead, the build-up became a case study in how to take the people's game and price the people out of it. The football will be unforgettable, but the way we got here, that's a disaster nobody at FIFA wants you to remember. So I want to know what you think. Did FIFA completely lose touch with the fans who built this sport? Or is sky-high pricing just the reality of the biggest event on earth now? Drop your take in the comments. I read every single one. And while you're down there, hit the like button if you think the fans deserve better. Then subscribe and turn on notifications, because we are covering every storyline of this World Cup all summer long, on and off the pitch. This is Hype Frame TV, new deep dives every Friday, shorts and breaking stories every Monday. If it's trending, shocking, or about to break the internet, we're already on it, always one frame ahead. Now, if you haven't seen it yet, you need to watch the story of the one man trying to rise above all this chaos and write the perfect ending to his career. Cristiano Ronaldo's last dance, his final World Cup, the one trophy he's never won, and the heartbreak waiting if he fails. I break the whole thing down in this video right here. It's the perfect companion to everything we just talked about. Click it. I'll see you there.